maybe like Cambodia. I don't think that we have any tariffs on Cambodia, and there is a lot of transshipping going through Cambodia that they're then just going to send right into America, right? So there you go. And then the downside is less innovation in the American market, more innovation in the Chinese market. And another downside is more expensive goods for the American consumers, because not only are they now either going to be spending more on goods produced in countries like China, India, Argentina, but they're also going to be spending more on American produced goods, because guess what? A lot of American producers are reliant on raw materials produced in other countries that are imported into America now at higher prices because of the tariffs, sending them out of business and making the American consumer pay more. And then the cherry on top is, even if I was just dead wrong about everything that I'm saying, and you were dead right about everything that you're saying, and tariffs are the best tool since sliced bread to refocus on American manufacturing, well, then explain to me how you think that American manufacturers are going to deal with a massive increase in demand for their goods, but also struggling with a forceful decrease in supply due to the layoff of 8.3 million of their workers at a time where hiring is at lower levels than in 2007 before the Great Recession. What about that? X-Rex
You can't go on. You're going on. You're taking a snapshot of what's happening right now. This is long-term strategy. If you're playing chess, you're making one move at a time, where a chess player is 10 moves ahead of you.
Nothing is long-term about Donald Trump's tariffs. He's already imposed them, revoked them, imposed them, revoked them, increased them, decreased them. Like in the last 8 months, we've had like 3 liberation days. We've had 10% tariffs on China. We've had 300% tariffs on China. We've had 50% tariffs on Argentina. Then we gave them $20 billion to fix their economy after we destroyed it. Nothing's long-term or like 3D chess about Donald Trump and his strategy here. It's all like in the whim of a moment, and possibly even illegal. And, because of that federal court we had rule last month that he doesn't even have the power to impose tariffs. I just think it's a huge mess.
So what's the other end of that, Dean? Let's talk about that. When all your jobs are shipped overseas, what's left for America to do?
Okay, well, I thought that we already addressed all the jobs being shipped overseas, and how it is the case that I'm sure that America has lost some jobs in some industries and gained jobs in others because of the nature of competitive advantage of the globalization of commerce. But the way to fix that isn't through these terrible tariffs, because once again, they could just transship their products into America, avoiding the tariffs. The tariffs incredibly negatively impact American consumers by making them pay more for foreign goods and goods produced in America, and it makes the economy as a whole less productive, as it forces us to produce things that we're not necessarily good at producing. And when we compile that with the facts of mass deportation and how harmful that is for American industries, because we're firing millions of their laborers, it just seems like a big old mess.
Well, there's other areas we're doing good with Mexico. Trade with Mexico is good. But let me ask you this. So you're okay with a country like China, and I'm saying like China, it could be another country that doesn't have basically any labor standards or any environmental standards comparable to the United States. And we just let all these manufacturers go over there, and they're cheaper because of those issues where we have standards in the United States. Where's your principle on that?
Okay, so I'm actually okay with isolated tariffs on companies that are producing goods with the use of child exploitation, and I want to push for like global standards of emission reduction. I absolutely do. That is super duper true. And in fact, I would even support the subsidization or subsidizing American producers so they could produce more goods at lower prices to be more competitive in the overall marketplace, to outweigh the production from companies in China that are reliant on human exploitation, companies all over the globe without like emission standards that are polluting the environment, so on and so forth. I just simply don't think that tariffs are the proper solution for all the reasons I've already given and more.
That's a great answer that you gave, Dean. Now, everything you said, all your arguments against tariffs, and there's some good ones there. Now you can apply your same arguments to your solution that you gave about subsidies, because that's what China was doing. They're subsidizing quite a bit of their stuff that was coming over here.
So what's one argument that I've made that could be applied against government subsidies?
The other governments can do it too.
Other governments
and that raise costs. And that raise costs. Subsidies raise costs.
Subsidies raise costs for whom?
for the for somebody either through taxes or higher cost of production.
Okay, so you're saying if our government spends money, then we have to increase taxes. I mean, not necessarily when we have an overinflated DoD budget and we have, presidents just spending trillions of dollars into debt, right? Like I don't think that you're over here arguing that because Donald Trump signed the most expensive bill in American history into law, the big beautiful bill at $4.5 trillion, that that's somehow going to raise costs. In fact, I bet that you parade that bill is super awesome. But as soon as like we support and endorse $30 billion, not even a trillion or a quarter of a trillion, into subsidizing U.S. chip producers, bumping our global supply from sub 1% to close to 30, all of a sudden it's terrible. And if you want to argue that other countries could just also subsidize their manufacturers, ask yourself, who has more subsidy? Who could offer more subsidies? America, with a growing GDP of, what is it now? What is the American GDP? Like 30, 40 trillion?
Yeah, 30 trillion. So let me ask you,
Yeah, so who could
what did
subsidize their
what
companies more? America with a growing GDP of like 30 to 40 trillion dollars, or China with a stagnating GDP of 21 trillion dollars, down from 3 years ago?
well, that's an excellent point, Dean. You actually made a good point. I'll give you that one because wasn't a big fan of free trade when they started it all. But the WTO, if you're familiar with the WTO,
The World Trade Organization,
what
yeah.
was yeah, what was their view on subsidies?
What's the WTO's view on subsidies? How the hell would I know?
They're against subsidies. All the trade agreements that they made, those are called red light subsidies. They weren't favorable. They distorted markets.
Okay, if you want to give an argument that subsidies can destroy markets, give it to me.
No, no. Actually, for agriculture, I'm in favor of subsidies because it's free market capitalism
Okay, so then we agree.
without subsidies
So so then
on
so
farm.
so then we could agree that like smart subsidies don't destroy markets, and like the WTO's opinion is kind of irrelevant unless like one could give good reason for it to be the case.
I think the WTO is geared towards the most wealthy people in the world and against the laborers, American workers of the world.
I
That's
don't
what
know.
I
I don't
think.
know much about them, right? But now you're just giving me an argument from the WTO that you can't substantiate, that you cannot like go on to describe why they find that to be the case, and it's something that you don't even believe that yourself.
Oh, no, for sure. I mean, I was going to Washington, D.C. With disputes against the WTO,
Okay.
and they did not like subsidies. And when we were trying to get farm policy to help farmers, all we heard out of Congress was WTO doesn't approve of those type
Yeah.
of.
Well, I just
So,
I just think that like subsidies are like really mismanaged in a way that ends up just going right back into the pockets of like these mega corporations. I don't support that. I think that like we should do intelligent subsidies that grant these corporations money if and only if they use the money for particular goals. And that's not something that our government does. They just sign them the check and turn a blind eye, right? What we need to
I'll
do
agree with you.
is say, well, we're going to subsidize this company a couple billion dollars so they could pay their employees more without increasing their costs. We are going to subsidize this company a couple billion dollars so they could build more facilities to increase their productive capacities while putting downward pressure on their prices without like forsaking their bottom line. You know what I mean? Right? It's like really easy for subsidies to be used as a really good tool that benefits the laborer, but it's just also really easy for subsidies to become a payout to lobbyist employers, right? So I think our government just has to be intelligent on it.
I mean, good points, but don't you think tariffs could be applied the same way with the same principles you just said?
Well, I mean, I don't think that there's any principle, rhyme, or reason to Donald Trump's applying them, and that's kind of what you're defending.
Well, isn't that just a little bit of you don't like Donald Trump?
No, what is his rhyme or reason to the tariffs? Tell me.
No.
No, tell me.
I,
What is the rhyme and the reason to his great tariff scheme?
well, I mean, there's a lot.
How
It's
did
not
we
one
get
thing.
how did we get from 265% tariffs on China down to 10% tariffs on China and 50% tariffs on India? Explain to me how we got there. Explain to me how we got from tariffs
Well,
on every
don't you
country in the
think?
world, excluding Russia, to 50% tariffs on Argentina.
Don't
Like,
you think India should get tariffed if they're buying oil from Russia?
well, I mean, I think that discouraging countries to buy oil from Russia is a good thing. I'm not sure if tariffs were the right way to go about it. But I'm just simply asking you for like the general rhyme and reason surrounding Donald Trump's tariffs.
Well, look, I'll admit to you right now, a lot of his terrorists are like King Kong beating his chest. It's if he wants some, it could be something totally non-related to trade. He's going to threaten terrorists to bring people to the negotiating table. It's an effective technique.
Okay.
It worked.
So what does he use that to negotiate? I mean, I'm confused. Do you want to continue
Better
to
trade
talk about
deals
better trade deals with whom?
with other countries.
Like which ones?
All of them.
Okay. Like, can you name one specifically?
And the other thing you got to remember with
No,
China,
not any other thing you got to remember. Can you name one trade deal specifically?
with Mexico,
Okay, wait. The
Japan,
USMCA?
Japan,
Wait. A better
Mexico,
trade deal with
Japan.
Mexico? Wait, he got rid of the USMCA? When did that happen?
No, he didn't get rid of it.
Okay, so then
He
we don't have a.
improved
Oh, he improved. He changed the USMCA. When did the changes with the USMCA take place?
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
Oh, it hasn't happened yet, but you just said it already had happened.
Well, you got to realize.
Come on, you just
though,
lied to
that-
me. You just tried to get that one by me. You didn't expect me to know that we are in a three-way trade deal with Mexico and Canada called the USMCA that he hasn't touched, and actually accused both countries of being unwilling to
USMCA is
negotiate.
going to be USMCA is going to be renegotiated at some point in the future.
But you just tried to argue that it already was. Why did you try to get that
Yeah,
one by
well-
me? That was very dishonest of you.
Well, I didn't mean to do that. I was anticipating a future USMCA upgrade. It'll still be USMCA, but it'll be an upgrade.
Okay. Well, is there anything else you want to go over insofar as why you support Trump?
Yeah, just getting back to business and saving money with the government. Government gets very inefficient, and
How much has Trump spent
a stronger
so far?
military.
How much has Trump spent so far?
Peace deals.
How-
Peace
how-
deals. He
1
hasn't
second.
gone to war.
I want to hone in on that first point, saying saving money with our government. You understand that Donald Trump has already spent close to $5 trillion in the last 8 months. That is more money than the Biden-Harris administration spent, including their expenditure on the pandemic in 4 years.
Yeah, I'm talking about making the government more efficient. I'm not talking about what he's currently spending right now.
So don't
Is it his fault? Is
Don't-
it his fault that there's a $36 trillion, minus on what we owe? The interest on that alone is
Actually, yeah,
something
it
that
is.
you got to pay for.
Actually, yeah, it is.
Right.
Right. If he didn't sign $4.5 trillion into debt because of his big beautiful bill, or his big ugly bill, as I like to call it, we wouldn't be $30 trillion in debt. So yeah, it actually is his fault that we're $30 trillion.
Well, the 30 trillion didn't happen when he signed that bill, did he?
The 4.5 trillion happened, which put us over 30 trillion in debt.
Right. Well, it hasn't happened. The 30 trillion was already there.
No.
So,
it wasn't.
and then what about geopolitics where we haven't
no, we're
gone
not going to
to war?
pivot. No. You're gish galloping. Sir, can I tell you what a gish gallop is?
I could figure it out.
A gish gallop is where you try to like overwhelm me with like multiple points at once, and we don't spend too long dissecting every single one. We're not done dissecting your claim that you said he was saving our government money, when in all reality, he's the largest spender in modern American history.
Yeah. So how do you reduce spending?
How do you reduce spending?
Do you
cut the DoD budget in half? You get rid of like programs that are like genuinely wasteful, and you don't spend $4.5 trillion on a tax bailout for the ultra wealthy. But that question was not in response to any of the facts that I gave. I'll go ahead and give you like more facts here. In his first term, according to the Center on Budget, no, not according to the CBPP, according to the CRBF, sorry, wrong think tank. According to the CRBF, in Donald Trump's first term, he spent $8.7 trillion. And so far in his second term, according to the CBO, he spent $5 trillion. Meanwhile, Biden and Harris spent $4.4 trillion in 4 years, and Kamala Harris's projected policy was only going to cost us $2 trillion in 10 years. He's a big spender,
I think
man.
you-
He's not good for the
I
government.
think you're cherry picking on those numbers.
I'm not. What's being cherry picked?
Did Donald Trump have a pandemic that a lot of money was spent during the pandemic?
Yeah, you want to account for COVID expenditure? Let's do it. According to that same source, the CRBF, if we account for Donald Trump's COVID-related expenditure, right, his expenditure goes down from $8.7 trillion to $4.8 trillion. And if we account for COVID-related expenditure under Biden and Harris, their expenditure goes down from $4.4 trillion to $2.2 trillion. So still yet, he spent over twice as much as the Biden-Harris administration did in his first term, even if we account for COVID-related expenditure.
So how much was the DOD budget under Biden versus Trump's first term?
I don't know.
So I'm trying to see where this big deduction in spending came from that you're claiming with the Biden presidency, and I just don't see
It's
it.
just
What did
because
they
Donald Trump
cut?
spent more on his policy. It's what they spent. It's not what they cut. It's what they spent.
Yeah, but what was it?
I just
What
gave
did they spend more on?
What did Trump spend more on?
What did Trump spend more on that Biden spent less on?
Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, and other like miscellaneous things. Like, do you want the specifics? I bet I could pull it up.
Did Biden get rid of the tax cuts? I didn't know that.
I never said that Biden got rid of the tax cuts.
So the same tax cuts that Trump had in place were in place with Biden there.
They were.
So where is the money that all this money that Biden saved that Trump didn't, that Trump spent?
Well, remember,
where's
we're
it
not talking
from?
about how much the president saved. We're talking about how much they spent, right? And more so, how much like new debt-related expenditure they approved, right, by signing things into.
So you're talking about stuff on paper.
Yes.
Okay, I'm talking reality, actual spent.
Well, the stuff on paper is reality, right? So during Donald Trump's first
It
administration,
will be.
He approved exactly $8.4 trillion worth of new 10-year borrowing, and Biden only approved $4.3 trillion worth of new 10-year borrowing.
And what was the borrowing for?
Like I said, $3.6 trillion under Donald Trump's first term was on the CARES Act and COVID relief. Then $2.1 trillion under Biden's term was on the American Rescue Plan. Then breaking down the non-COVID related expenditure, Donald Trump borrowed $1.9 trillion over the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. He borrowed $2.1 trillion under the bipartisan budget acts that weren't actually bipartisan. He borrowed $500 billion on ACA tax delays and repeals, $456 billion on health executive actions, $310 billion on other legislation, and there's all of his non-COVID related expenditure according to the CRBF.
Yeah, well, I mean, and currently you're already putting the money on the big beautiful bill. You're putting that down on the books as money spent.
Yeah, it's like new debt related spending because of its 10-year projection. Yeah, that's only fair.
Okay, fair enough.
Here, I'm going to thank a couple people. Yo, Z Tagger, I'm just going to call you Z. Thank you for the $50 over on Super Chat. Z says, I'm going to play your stream and Parker's stream every day until my husband can change his mind or debate one of you. Z, first and foremost, thank you for the $50. Let's get 500 ZW. Z, bro, please get your husband up on the stream. I would absolutely love to chat with him. Thank you so much. As well as, let's see here. Shane, 21 minutes ago with $4 in Venmo. Thank you. Haley, 20 minutes ago with $5 in Venmo. Thank you so much. Then Sandra, 19 minutes ago with a $25 donation over on Venmo. Sandra says, thank you. Well, thank you for the $25, Sandra, and it's good to see you. Please show some love to Sandra down below in that chat. As well as Tabitha, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo 18 minutes ago, saying a huge thank you for what you do. Keep educating young men and helping them not to fail under the dangerous social pressures from the right. Thank you so much, Tabitha. As well as, oh my God, okay, we got a couple big donations. Holy shit. Yo, I'm going to call you Lil, L-I-L. Thank you so much for the $40 donation on PayPal, saying, I love how you don't even need to say a word and Trump fans have already embarrassed themselves. Yeah, they do the work themselves. Thank you for the $40. That is so fucking kind of you. Show some love to Lil down below in the chat. And then one big one here, another big one here. Holy shit. Ann, A-N-N, thank you so much for the $100 donation over on PayPal. Holy fuck, Anne. Okay, let's go ahead and read Anne's message. That is so generous of you. Thank you so much for your kindness. I do not deserve that, Anne. As always, you are always here supporting me. All the love in the world to you. Anne says, "Hey, Dean from Quebec City." As always, Anne, as always. Thank you for what you do. Today in the Oval Office, Trump again mentioned the future merger of Canada with the U.S. I wonder what you think about this Trump drama. I think that Donald Trump has a proclivity to say and do things that position himself as an authoritarian dictator. And this is just another one of those things. Falls into that same category, is arguing that it's illegal to criticize him in the media or that he could have the military function as a domestic police force. I'm hoping that it never happens and that it's just, more of his baseless fascist ranting. But thank you so much for the $100, and seriously, that is so kind of you. And if you're watching right now, one of the 9.5K people on TikTok or 4.4K people on YouTube, and you want to support me, you could actually find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio over on TikTok, as well as on the top of the screen right now. And you could also find it in the pin message over on that YouTube stream. But take it away, man. Is there anything else that you want to debate about insofar as why you support Trump?
Yeah, foreign policy. So
Okay.
this endless war.
I'm sorry, man. That was supposed to be like a kind of way of like where you were going to be like, no, then I was going to be like, okay, I'm going to move on to the next guest, but you wanted to keep going. I'm actually just going to go to move on to the next guest, man. I appreciate you for the long conversation about tariffs. I appreciate you for the conversation about...
I appreciate you for the long conversation about tariffs. I'm just going to go to move on to the next guest, man. I appreciate you for the...
Hello?
Hi, a little bit of an echo there. Anyways, as I was saying, I appreciate you for the long conversation about tariffs and government expenditure, but I just didn't really like repeating myself 5 times about everything, so I'm going to go to move on. Winner, what is up? Do you support Trump?
In one kind of way, sorry, I'm from Germany, like my English is not the greatest.
Are you like from Germany in the sense that like you're an American immigrant from Germany, or are you like just literally like in Germany right now?
I'm in Germany. I'm German.
No worries. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to disconnect you because we're just looking to talk to people. We're looking to talk to Americans. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up in here. Hey, Kat, thank you so much for the $15 over on PayPal. And Damaris, thank you for the $10 as well. Damaris says from Chicago, thank you for what you do. Thank you so much for the love, man. And I hope that you and everyone that you know are doing well right now in Chicago. I'm really worried about where Chicago, Portland, and Memphis are heading. It's kind of scary, man, dude. So I bet it's even much scarier for you being on the ground. What's up? Do you support Trump? Diesel, 1984. Hello? Are you here?
What's up? Yep.
Hey, man.
What's up?
Are you driving right now?
No. No.
Oh, okay. All right. Do you
I'm
support...
in the passenger side, bro.
All right. That makes sense. Can you get...
no.
Can you get your phone a little bit closer to your face?
What about now? That's the best I can do.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Tell us why you support Trump.
I don't support him.
Oh.
Oh, it's only for people.
Dude, based. Hell yeah. WU. We're just looking for Trump supporters, though, so I'm going to kick you. You have a good one, though. Yeah, like I said, Damaris, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. And then Kat with the $15. I thanked you earlier, but I wanted to read your message now. Kat says, I've discovered that to get into your queue, I have to get followers and get approved for quote-unquote live. I don't know. I don't think that you need 1,000 followers anymore. Maybe it is like country or region dependent, though. What's up, Paradise? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 24 and I'm an American.
Okay, and why the hell do you support the worst president of your 24 years of life, Paradise?
I know. So I just feel like it's like it goes both ends. Like the ICE situation, like yes, it's horrible, it's really bad, but like look at it's like bad people ruin it for good people, you know? And it didn't start getting bad until the Venezuelans like took over like apartment complexes, crime went up. I mean, did you hear about that one person that beheaded his owner because he didn't want to speak his language? Like,
beheaded his owner? People don't have owners.
I meant his his boss. That's what I meant.
Okay, yeah, people's bosses are not their owners. So first and foremost, you said Venezuelan gang members taking over apartment complexes. Are you talking about what happened in Aurora, Colorado?
Yeah, it happened there and it happened in Dallas.
Okay, right. Well, that was just completely misinformation about Aurora. Even the mayor of Denver confirmed that. Just completely misinformation.
Why does he think Trump is the worst president?
Yeah. We can This is my roommate. She supports. She's against.
I don't support Trump.
Yeah.
I'm okay with whoever she supports. But why do you tell her why you think Trump is the worst president?
Okay. All right. How about we do it that way? I'm going to go and give you my reasons why I despise the orange fascist. And then,
Yeah,
you know,
give
once
us like
we-
10 reasons, like the top 10.
10 reasons? I could do that. Let me thank a couple people here before I give you 10 reasons. I'm going to go and thank Matina. Thank you so much for the $25 over on Venmo. Matina with the $25 says, keep up the good fight, my man. Thank you, Matina. That is so kind of you. Let's get 250 Matina W's. I really appreciate you for your kindness. Thank you, Matina. As well as Lyrica, thank you for the 10. And then Juniper, thank you for the $10 as well. Thank you, Juniper. And then Jack, thank you for the $20. Jack says, thank you for advocating for LGBTQ plus IA. We appreciate you and need more people like you. You rock. Thank you so much, Jack. You rock as well. I appreciate you for being here. And thank you for the $20, as well as Navu. Thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. And Jessica, thank you so much for the $10 on PayPal, and William with the $10 on PayPal as well. Appreciate you, Jessica, William, Navu, Jack, Juniper, Lyrica, and Matina. Show some love to all of our donors. Now, you asked me for 10 reasons why I don't support Trump as president. Is that it? You only want 10?
Yes.
You sure?
Well, I know there's more. I just like the top 10 worst reasons.
Okay, where do we start? I'm just going to spitfire random ones here. One reason why Donald Trump is an incredibly bad president is because the position of the presidency is a role of public service, not of self-service, but he is an adjudicated rapist, and I don't think that rapists are capable of public service in the sense about caring of others, right? Ooh, disqualifying in my mind. Another reason why I think that he's such a terrible president is because of his incessant proclivity.
Allegations, though.
What's that?
She said that aren't those just allegations? But I mean, there's some proof and pictures.
Oh, yeah. So that was
not allegations.
So that was proved by a court.
So there is proof that he was a rapist and predator and shit.
Yeah. Look at this.
See? Yeah, I seen that come up around.
Right, yeah. Judge clarifies, yes, Trump was found to have raped E. Jean Carroll.
And he's a criminal, bitch. He went to prison. Why the fuck would we want a president that went to prison?
Oh, so you're the roommate that doesn't like Trump, and then
yeah.
Okay, the roommate that does like Trump. I'm gonna need you to speak up and hop on that mic. All right.
I asked you for the time.
Oh, I think that
know a few, but I want her to listen to them.
Okay, well,
and I know you're like so smart, and you know, I
want to
give her some of your smartness.
Okay, all right, but like I need her to be on the mic. I think that you're cool, and I think that you're cooking. All right, but because this is a debate, I'm gonna need her to hop on that mic. But that doesn't mean I don't think that you're chill. Okay, it's really cool that you don't like Trump.
No, you're okay. She's right here. We're both listening to you.
Okay, 10 reasons why I don't like Trump. Court found him to have raped a woman. Another reason why I don't like Trump is because he has a proclivity to like ignore law and order. He pardoned people that tried to kill cops on January 6th. I'm sorry, I just heard myself in the echo. He also incessantly breaks the law. He's giving illegal orders to the military to arrest people in the streets of American cities. He's violated the 1st, 2nd, 14th, and 22nd Amendment in the last 8 months. He, according to a court, illegally imposed tariffs. According to another court, illegally committed 34 felonies. According to another court, illegally concealed classified documents in Mar-a-Lago. According to another court, illegally lied about the value of one of his properties for tax deductions. So no law and order. His economic policy is really bad. According to a couple cool think tanks, his big beautiful bill, which was his big economic plan, is taking healthcare away from 10 million people, food stamps away from 3 million people. He's also like very divisive and hateful, which is another big reason why I don't like him. He said that he hates all Democrats and that he doesn't care about his enemies, and he has a snarky nickname for every Democrat in Congress. Right? And when you see your champion act like that, so will you. And that's why I think that MAGA is so divisive and hateful towards the left today. And we see just such a partisan divide in the country. I also don't really like him because of his policy directed towards women's access to healthcare. I think that infringing on a woman's access to abortion is a human rights violation. And I could tell you why if you want, but you know, he's the one that elected 3 justices to SCOTUS to overturn Roe v. Wade and put that back down to the state level. Today, 66 million American women or girls do not have access to elective abortions. And every single day, 60 pregnant victims of rape are denied access to abortion in 10 of our 50 states. Right? Huge humanitarian issue there. Oh, he also like boasted about perving on little girls. That should be disqualifying, right?
There you go.
You cut out on the last part, like posting what?
He boasted about perving on little girls while they were naked and changing. Like, hopefully that'd be like disqualifying from serving as our president, right?
Yeah, but we also had Biden as our ex-president, and you could see him like smelling the little girls on camera.
Okay.
But what do you think,
for
like
all the,
during his
for the
presidency,
intents
did
and the
it
purposes,
like?
just check this out. I'm gonna like expand your mind. Like, I don't think that Biden was a predator, but if Biden was a predator, right, the very logical thought process would be, I don't support Trump because he's a predator, and I don't support Biden because he was also a predator. Not, well, it's okay for me to support Trump even though he's a predator because Biden was also a predator. Like, do you see how that works? Like, the but Biden cop out, it's not too reasonable, right? Because if Biden was genuinely a predator, then it's not that you should support them both. It's that you should support neither of them.
Yeah.
So, okay, wait, hold on. Let me ask this question.
Okay.
So are you like blue party, or like you just don't like Trump? Like,
Yeah, so I'm a big lib.
what is your?
I'm libbed out. I'm libbed out. Big liberal.
Oh, okay. So in your opinion, when Biden was presidency, how do you think our economy and like the environment, like what is your intake? Like, you think we were so much better, or like?
Well, maybe before, like, well, I do. In the last year of Biden's presidency, the economy was objectively better based on every single macroeconomic objective, right? Inflation, employment, GDP growth, business investment, it was all up, right? But I would really appreciate it if you could kind of respond to the 10 reasons that I gave you why Donald Trump is a bad president and why you shouldn't support him.
Well, he talked about the 24th and 21st Amendment. I think one of them is for like the alcohol.
No, but like on the
And the other one for the poll
on the
taxes.
abortion, like, yes, that's like very bad. I'm a woman myself, and I support like
Yeah, that's it.
women's rights, but we are going through a population like decrease.
Which
So
is
I think
why
that's
you
like
should be
one of the
pro-immigration,
parts.
not pro-controlling women's bodies.
There you go. And the fact that ICE is just taking people from the
Well,
street.
let's talk about how like we're getting this immigration people, but what about, have you heard about like there's a city, I'm not sure the name, but it's all full of like Islamic, and one of their laws is to kill Christians and Jews if they don't believe in Allah. I don't know if you heard that, but and they don't even talk English. They want to talk in their own language. Like, have you heard about that? Like,
Okay. All right.
Texas had to
So,
ban.
so what you're talking about is like Sharia law.
Yeah.
I don't think that even like the countries that are governed under Sharia law like kill people for not being Muslim. Like, I definitely like don't agree with Sharia law, nor do I agree with the governance of Sharia law. I think that like radical fundamentalist sects of all religions are wrong, including Christianity, right? But I don't even think in countries that are governed by Sharia law, they just kill people for not being Muslim. I could be wrong. I don't know. I haven't seen that, right? And maybe here's what I'll say, right? You know, criticize a government that infringes on human rights, including governments that are governed by Sharia law. I know I sure will, but don't only criticize governments that infringe on human rights if they're governed by Sharia law. Also criticize governments that infringe on human rights if they're governed disproportionately by Christians. Example, America, okay? We account for 5% of the global population, yet we account for 22% of the global incarceration rate. Why is that, right? I think that that's something we should criticize our government for. Take into account child marriage. In so many of our states, there are legal loopholes where 14-year-old girls can marry 35-year-old men. Okay, criticize that, right? And criticize everything about, countries governed by Sharia law. Criticize all human rights violations, but never point towards one fundamentalist sect of one religion and attempt to use that to stereotype all other members of that same religion, while then ignoring all other human rights abuse and all other fundamentalist sects of religions, such as Christianity too.
All right, mic drop.
And then you said something else about then like not wanting to speak English. Yeah, I don't think that you like need to speak English to like come into America or be an American.
No, it's not what I was just what I meant was like, yes, you have the freedom to speak whatever language you want, but like colonization is like they don't want you to speak like English at all, strictly their language, burning the
At
flag
where?
of America.
Okay, what places in America like will like frown on you if you speak English?
Um, Honestly, I don't have all my facts. To be honest, I'll be honest with you, but it's not like a big city. It's like small. Like I don't know. Honestly,
Dude,
I had to look into
I
that.
don't think that we have a problem with frowning on people in America for speaking English. I think that we have a problem for frowning on people in America for not speaking English.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, you're right. I'm just log off because okay, I am kind of high, so.
Okay. Have a good one. We're going to move on to the next Trump supporter. Hop in that queue of your MAGA. We'll get you pulled up here. I really appreciate everyone so much for all the love and support over on PayPal and Venmo, too. We have quite a few donations, but let's go to get that next Trump supporter up here right now, quite frankly. Let's see. Who do we got? Hey. Let's see. What's up? Do you support Trump? Nope. Okay.
Fuck you, Dean Rose.
Do you say fuck you? Why are you so emotional, Jesse? Oh, I'm so scared. Oh, he left. What an alpha male. Let's go to move on to Mad Cow. Yo, Circe, thank you so much for the $15 over on Venmo, saying thank you so much for opening eyes. All that and hope I can chat with you live because I don't understand the Christians being MAGA, but there's no kindness. Yeah, I think that if Jesus were alive today, he would be a socialist, further left than me. Appreciate you for the love, Circe. As well as S. I'm going to call you S. Thank you for the $25 donation on Venmo. S says with the 25 bucks, thank you so much. Show some love to S in that chat. Thank you for everything that you do. These debates bring a little joy to my day. Thank you so much. I'm really happy that the debates can bring a little bit more joy to your day. That is absolutely awesome. Thank you so much. As well as Kevin, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo. And Kai with the $10 on Venmo, and Emily with the $5 on Venmo, and Gia with the $5 as well. Thank you, everyone. As well as, I'm going to call you D, because I don't want to butcher your name. Thank you for the $20 donation over on PayPal. Thank you so much, D. You are awesome. Please show some love to D down below in that chat. They say the leader of Dubai himself loves coming to a Christian state, Kentucky. He has no issues with Christianity and he's Muslim. Yeah, many Muslims don't. Beatrice, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. Say next coffee on me, my friend. Thank you so much for the love. I drink coffee every morning, so you got it tomorrow. That's very kind of you. As well as Augustine, thank you so much for the $10 on PayPal, and Justin with the $10 as well. And Sadie, thank you for the $25 on PayPal, saying I used to live in Aurora and always thought that story was unbelievable. Yeah, it just wasn't true. I appreciate everyone so much for all the love. Oh, then two more here. Taven, thank you so much for the $1 over on PayPal, as well as Anonymous with a $5. Thank you so much, Taven. And let's see here. Tyler, thank you for the $15 on Venmo. Wait, no, that was a request. I appreciate you for the love anyways. Dylan, go ahead and take it away. Do you support Trump?
No, no, I was more of a person that used to just support the president, because I don't want America to fail.
Yeah.
But when I started seeing, Donald Trump is a different breed, I've been seeing, he has really kind of fumbled, even with his supporters, He preached a lot, even my parents who voted for him, they they're even seeing it like they're like, where are the Epstein files? And I agree. I'm like, where are they?
Hey, man.
And
Well,
there's a big. Go ahead.
we're only looking to
Sorry.
talk to Trump supporters. I let you talk there because you were patient while I was reading off
Oh.
donos, but I gave you a little bit of screen time just because you were hanging by me real patient while I was thanking my donors, so I didn't just want to immediately kick you. But we're only looking to talk to Trump supporters, and you have a good rest of your day. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the live right now. Hop in that queue if you are big time MAGA. How long have we been live? We've been live for 3.5 hours. Yo, crazy. All right. We have around another 30 minutes left on stream, folks. I think my girlfriend wanted us to get a couples massage tonight. That sounds nice. I could use a good massage from a licensed masseuse. So I'm gonna send her a text, see what time that is. But I may have to hop off a little bit earlier than 4 hours for that. What's up? Do you support Trump? Hello, Lindsay? Lindsay's not here. Yeah, she got like a gift card to a local masseuse place for her birthday, and she really has been wanting to use it. So I think we're gonna use it this evening. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Let's go to try to get that last guest up of the night. What's up? Do you support Trump? Hello, are you here?
Yes.
Are you MAGA? I think that they're not here. W girlfriend? Yeah, I love the spam. W girlfriend for real? For real? So real? So fucking real? Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love her. Well, I do love her because she's my girlfriend. Makes sense. Makes sense. We're gonna go to get that next guest loaded up in the box. If you want to support me, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio on TikTok, as well as in that pin message on that YouTube stream, where you could also support via super chat. And you could also find the Venmo and the PayPal on the top of the screen. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yo, what's up, Dean?
Hey, are you MAGA?
What do you define support as?
You think he's a good president?
Definitely think he's better than the other option. But
Yeah, that also works. So go ahead and give me an argument. How do you think America would be worse off today if Kamala Harris had won the election?
worse, I actually don't think it would be. I think it's actually the same
Okay.
side of the same coin. Different side of the same coin.
Okay. Well, that just means that you don't think America would be worse if she won. I mean, I definitely disagree with you, but we're going to move on to the next guest. Hey, what's up? Do you support Trump? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, are you MAGA?
Yes.
How old are you?
18.
Okay. What year were you born in?
2006.
What month?
October 11th.
Okay. I think that would make you 18. Yeah. So why the hell do you support Trump, ma'am?
Well, one of the things is like, wasn't Kamala gonna
Kamala?
let minors kind of get, if they wanted to become trans, they could get surgeries and stuff?
Kamala Harris did not mention trans people in her legislation. She didn't mention trans people at any rally. She didn't mention trans people once from the White House. She didn't mention trans people at all, right? And see, some would say that that's an issue because they wish that Kamala Harris was more inclusive of trans individuals within her campaign, which I might agree with. But some other people will say that she was a quote unquote Trantifa radicalist that wants to make everyone trans and cut children's genitals off. Particularly, Trump likes to say that. He said everything I just repeated, and you've fallen for the propaganda.
Okay. Because I just remember like seeing, and then also like the whole like sports thing and like having like men in sports, like even if they're transgender
Okay.
or like they are labeled women, like I just wouldn't agree with that. So I thought like she was kind of on that side.
Okay, well, I don't think that trans women are men. And I wish that we could have a debate about that, but TikTok likes to restrict me whenever we talk about trans people. It's literally like so crazy. Last week, I had a guy say the same thing you just said, and he got banned for hate speech, and my life got restricted. It's unreal, right? Because I wish that I could have a conversation with you about that and change your mind. But there's something like kind of similar to this topic that we could talk about, right? So are you saying that you just don't think people who you think are men should be able to go into like women's spaces?
Yeah, with certain like limitations
Okay.
and like in certain degrees, I
So,
would say that.
okay. Can we agree it's worse for like a cis man to um, like be a predator and prey on like naked girls in their dressing rooms unconsensually than it is for a trans woman to compete in a women's sport? By the way, under my view, I don't think it's wrong at all for a trans woman to do that because of the effects of hormone replacement therapy. But under your view, can you agree that it is worse for a 60-year-old man to prey on naked children in their dressing rooms than it is for a trans woman to compete in women's sports?
Yes. But
Okay.
also I think that
My question for you now is, if a man were to do that, what do you think the punishment should be?
I think it would depend. I think like you would need to go, I don't know, there should be like some law consequence.
Okay, should they go to jail
100%.
for a really long time?
Depending on what it is. Yeah, maybe.
If they like intentionally like prey on like naked minors in their changing rooms, I could like univocally say they definitely should go to jail for a really long time. What about you?
Yeah, I would say that.
Okay, and if they should definitely go to jail for a really long time, then they should never be able to become president, right?
Right.
So if we did have a president that admitted and even boasted about perving on naked women and naked girls in their dressing rooms unconsensually, would you ever support them in a billion years?
No,
Even if
but
it was Trump?
yeah.
So if I prove to you right now that Trump has boasted about the sexual exploitation of naked girls and naked women unconsensually in their dressing rooms, you'd stop supporting him on the spot?
It would depend. I mean, I don't know, like right.
What do you
I
mean it would? What do
I
you mean
don't
it would
believe.
depend? You just told me in your last breath that you would never
Yeah,
support
yeah,
a
yeah.
president
But wait,
if they had
hold
boasted
on.
about perving on naked girls and naked women. But as soon as I posture that that president may be Trump, the story is completely changed. So why did it go
No,
from a definite no to it
I
would depend?
completely believe you that like he might have done that or has done that, or even with your proof, he's done that. But the thing is, it's just for these like out of the two, I would just have to vote for Trump because there was just different. There just were
Even
things.
if he had personally sexually exploited girls.
Yeah, but it's not like he's doing that right now. I don't know.
It's not
It's
like
just
he's
there.
doing that right now. Oh,
But there's
we should just go let all the serial killers, all the pedophiles out of jail because it's not like
no,
they're
no,
serial
no,
killing
no. I
and being
completely no.
pedophiles
I
right
agree.
now. We should just go all. It's so unfair that we have somebody locked up until the day they die because they raped 3 women because they're not raping 3 women now. They did that so long ago, so we should let them out of jail, right?
But what about all the celebrities that have done like the exact same things,
Oh,
and
well,
they're
they.
just like not getting caught, and they have.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
there's so many
So
like
one
people.
person not being caught somehow logically implies the vocal endorsement of another.
No, but it's
Exactly.
there's more than one. There's more than one person, and there's like all these famous high up like people
Yeah, I
that
don't really
have.
care. I don't really care how many people sexually exploit children. I would still say that sexually exploiting children is incredibly wrong, right? Like, it doesn't matter if there's one person doing it, or 100 people doing it, or 1,000 people doing it, or 1,000,000 people doing it. It is still just as wrong, regardless of how many people do it.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, right? So your position shouldn't be, well, because there's so many people doing it, therefore I don't care that Trump did it, but should rather be, there's so many people doing it, therefore I care that Trump did it, and I care that everybody else did it. And now I'm a radical liberal because I recognize that there's these massive structural issues in society that are conducive towards so much harm, and we should explore the reasons why. We discover grape culture, we discover the patriarchy, we discover the diminishment of the value of harm directed towards women and the normalization of it. And then we discover how you're actively perpetuating that system and perpetuating the normalization of harm towards women and girls by willfully permitting a man that didn't just sexually exploit teen girls and then turn around and boasted about it, but was also held liable for the rape of another woman by a civil court 2 years ago. And you're actively supporting him as president of the most powerful country on earth.
Yeah, and I agree with that, but also okay, yes, that's all correct. And I agree with that. But also, if you're like, you become this liberal when you admit that Trump has done all these things, what about all of the liberal celebrities that, have also done all of those things, but you still like, what is it called? What is it called? Like, you still like kind of like watch them. Does it make sense?
I don't know. So if somebody like doesn't support one person because they're a rapist, but does support another person even though they're a rapist, that somebody's a hypocrite.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, there's other people in Hollywood that liberals like that are liberals, and these other liberals are still supporting them.
Okay, well, I mean,
But
I
like,
think that like being like an actor is different than being president, but I'm sure that there's still some discoverable levels of hypocrisy there if that were to be the case. So are you saying because there's other people that are hypocritical about rape that you should also be hypocritical about rape?
no, I'm just saying that like some people do take those terms,
I'm just
or some
confused on
people
what
are
the
like that
so
are
what
liberal.
what's the conclusion of the argument? Are you saying, well, because you think you could probably discover a couple liberals that are hypocritical about it, that you should be too? Like, I'm just confused. Are you saying that you're better than those liberals because instead of being implicitly hypocritical about it, you'll just openly endorse a rapist with open arms?
No,
Okay, then what's the argument?
I don't know. I'm just trying to get you to like see how it can go both ways.
It can go both ways. I don't think that the only rapist ever is Trump.
Okay.
Right? I'm not saying
Right.
that there's never been a Democrat that has raped a woman. Like, what?
No, they're definitely
Right?
hasn't. Right.
And the goal of society should be to condemn all rapists. The goal of society should be to condemn all sexual exploiters. And guess what? In our conversation right now for you, that starts with the current president that you support.
Right. So I agree with you on that. And, I think that's bad. Can I bring up like another point or like another topic?
Okay. Well, I mean, you just agreed that it's bad. So do you still support him even though he's been held civilly liable for rape and has openly boasted about the sexual exploitation of both naked women and naked girls?
Well, I don't support him when it comes to that. No.
But overall, do you still support him as president?
I would have to do like more research, but I mean, if you want me to say no, like I can.
No, I just want you to be honest.
I just don't support him on that topic. I mean, I don't support Trump on a lot. I don't support Trump on a lot of things.
But do you
But I
still
also
support him overall?
yes,
Why?
I'm still fine with his presidency, but I'm also.
And why do you still support him overall?
I also think that he's like a great businessman,
Were you
and
born in
obviously
2009?
no.
Why is everyone in the chat saying you were?
I don't know.
I can't even click on chat. Why are you saying that? She's not even like showing up on my phone as a guest. Like usually it'll be like a second line down here where I could see the guest and disconnect them. She's not even showing up on my phone. Why are you guys saying that she was born in 09? Is there like any proof? Because if so, I'll kick her. But go ahead and continue. In the meantime,
I also think like for the wars that kind of happened, I don't know. I just don't think that Kamala would have been able to.
Kamala.
Sorry, Kamala. That she would have been able to fix them. And not that Trump, I don't give him all the credit for being able, like, these past wars, for him being able to do that, but I think that he was able to kind of create like that peace.
What peace? We see that Russia's only dropping more bombs on Ukraine right now. They have increased the amount of bombs they've dropped on Ukraine since Donald Trump has taken international pressure off of them. Since Donald Trump's term start, I mean, we've now officially seen Israel pass real policy through their government to ethnically cleanse and annex the rest of the Gaza Strip. Things are only getting worse everywhere. What peace is he creating?
Well, wasn't there like a statement that was a couple months ago that was like, oh, like it's like the war is over, or there was going to be a war, but then they were like, now it's like over.
You're talking about Iran and Israel, right? So I don't think that Israel would have bombed Iran in the first place if Kamala Harris was elected, because they were reliant on the U.S. giving our troops and our B-2 bombers to drop bunker blasters on Iran in order to win the conflict. And I don't think that Kamala Harris would have done that if she won the presidency. Like, I know that she was pro-Israel. I don't know if she was that pro-Israel, though, to kind of jump however high that they wanted us to. And she left. Okay, goodbye. Let's see here. Real quick. Joseph, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal. Show some love to Joseph down below in that comment section right now. Thank you so much for the love. Joseph with the $20 says a meager caffeine subsidy for your tired brain cells. You know what I gotta say? Towards the end of these lives, my brain does get a little tired. Thank you so much for the motorcycle, Raven. And I'm starting to get to the point. So I appreciate you for the love. Everyone, show some love to Joseph down below in that comment section. As well as Melania. Thank you so much for the $10 on PayPal saying my 9-month-old niece has leukemia and Trump wanted to cut funding for this. I'm so sorry to hear that your niece has leukemia. That is like so fucking sad. 11-month-old too? Jesus Christ, Melania. I don't know. I don't know like how you guys do it. If that was me, if that happened to somebody in my family, I would just be like such a perpetual mess like every single day because of how like just truly like sad that is. Like children having cancer, are you fucking kidding me, dude? I hope that you and the family are okay, and I hope that she survives and that she heals. As well as Edith, I'd like to thank you for the $6 over on PayPal saying get a treat for Momo. You're goated, by the way. Appreciate you for the love, Edith. As well as Jay, thank you so much for the $50 on PayPal saying this is towards the gratitude. Jay, it's so good to see you again today. Thank you for the $50. Let's get 300 JWs, as well as let's get 500 JWs, as well as 300 Jaylin Ws, because Jaylin also donated $30 on PayPal. Jaylin says, hey, Dean, I just wanted to say that I appreciate you and your content very much. You've opened my eyes a lot. You've made me realize which choice is the better choice. I learned a lot from your content, Jaylin. That is exactly why I do what I do. I'm really happy to hear that you've taken a lot away from what we do here, and I'm happy that you've learned from the streams. Huge shout out to you down below in that chat. Thank you so much for the kind message and the $30. What's up, Lenny? Do you support Trump? Lenny is not here. Goodbye, Lenny. Go ahead and put a me with your age down below in that comment section. If you are an American adult that supports Trump and you want to come up here and debate, hell yeah, we got Tanner Doherty loading in. While Tanner's loading in, Shannon, thank you for the $25 on Venmo, saying thank you for everything that you do. These debates bring me a little joy every day. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Shannon, as well as Rachel. Thank you so much for the Viking hammer. Holy shit. I'd also like to thank Cersei. Thank you for the $15 over on Venmo, and James with the $20 on Venmo, Dave with the $20 on Venmo, and Summer with the $20 on Venmo. Holy shit. Show some love to James, Dave, and Summer. James says, represent. I learned a lot watching your lives. Thank you. Well, thank you, man. Dave says, TikTok. Yay, thank you. Well, thank you, man. And Summer with the $20 once again saying for your girlfriend's weekly flowers. Ooh, I'm going to have to get her some flowers later. Thank you, Summer. And Sky, S-K-Y-E, with the $35 donation on Venmo for quote-unquote being awesome. Thank you so much, Sky. You guys are awesome. All right, we are all caught up on the donations. Thank you all so much for the love. Seriously, you guys, it means the absolute world. W donors in that live chat. Thank you all so much. What is up, Tanner? Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. And why is that?
Countless reasons.
Okay.
Would you like me to give you one?
Yeah. Support Trump. Iran
We'll
war.
go off of that topic.
Sure. Can you mute yourself when you're not talking? You just got a little bit of weak.
Honestly, not sure
got a little bit of
how I
feedback.
see it, but I got.
Yeah, I don't really think that Donald Trump made too good of a decision with Iran. First and foremost, there's just a lot of like potential like negative outcomes for us via his decision to get involved in something that we fundamentally had no involvement with to begin with, such as Iran shutting down the Strait of Hormuz. I think that that was a really scary potential negative side effect that could have occurred. Not to mention that the ceasefire agreement that he set forth was really reckless. Like he didn't even inform the Iranian government about it ahead of time, and Israel violated it like 2 hours after he signed it into law. And I'm just going to be honest. I don't think that if Kamala Harris was elected, Israel would have like bombed Iran to begin with, since, as I told the last guest, and I'll tell it to you too, they had confidence that when they were to bomb Iran, that the U.S. would jump as high as they wanted us to and join in to this conflict and drop our bunker blasters on their facilities. And I just don't think that Kamala Harris would have done that. She was pro-Israel, but as once again I told the last guest, not as pro-Israel as Trump, and I don't think that she would have gotten involved.
Which is valid. I don't think that personally, if Harris was still in or going and running and became president, we would actually be in a much worse conflict. I mean, personally, if you actually look at it, Harris was slowing the funding of aid to Ukraine during this Russian-Ukrainian war. There's no reason behind it. There wasn't a given answer from her as to why that happened.
To give the money?
To aid in the war efforts, yes.
Oh, it's because it puts more
because they're a NATO ally.
It's because it puts more international pressure on Russia to stop their invasion.
So if Iran was to immediately start bombing Israel, or Israel vice versa, you think that she would have jumped in because of what? I don't think she had that
we were
reason.
talking about Russia and Ukraine.
Just now, that was a topic I brought up because of the fact that you believe that she would have helped Iran and Israel.
So I don't think that she would have dropped bombs on Iran, and I don't think that we should have. Now, the reason why we help Ukraine is because we have a contractual agreement with Ukraine from the 90s called the Budapest Memorandum, where we agreed to aid them if it were to be the case that they were invaded by another country, and they were. So we enacted the Budapest Memorandum and giving them funding, which, by the way, was a really good idea. It put, as I already said, more international pressure on Russia to stop their invasion of Ukraine. And we know that because when Donald Trump stopped the military funding to Ukraine, Russia hit them the hardest they ever have, and they were even more unwilling and uncooperative to end their invasion, which, of course, sparked Donald Trump to resume all the funding going to Ukraine.
That which is 100% fair and understandable. I believe that from past experiences and things that I have seen through my lifetime, that Iran is not someone to be reasoned with. They have a multitude of videos just purely based at us that say "Death to America."
So I
kill
think,
all Americans.
So I think I've seen a video of like people like chanting "Death to America." They don't really like America, and I think that's actually in part Trump's fault.
That which would make sense as in how. I mean, this wasn't started.
He pulled us out of the nuclear peace deal we had with them. We sanctioned the hell out of Iran, and that really pissed them off. So then they started developing nuclear weapons. Well, supposedly.
So why did we?
Can I finish speaking?
Right.
Of
course. I'll let you finish.
They supposedly started developing nuclear weapons. So then Obama was like, "I have a really good idea. Like, what if we were to make an agreement with Iran, where if they stop the development of nuclear weapons and we have like full and total oversight clearance, so we know they're not developing nuclear weapons, we will release the sanctions on them." And it ended up being a great deal. But then, of course, when Donald Trump was in office his first time around, he pulled us out of that agreement, fucking us over, fucking our national security over, and fucking them over because he reimposed the sanctions. So obviously that pissed them off, and I think it should have pissed them off. It pissed me off. I mean, what the hell was this ludicrous idiot thinking, pulling us out of the nuclear peace agreement with Iran? Why was that a good idea?
I do agree with you, but I do also see that this was a conflict long before you and I were even on this planet. Iran has wanted nothing but what they consider theirs back.
Can you answer my question? You're not answering my question. Why did Donald Trump pull us out of?
I guess I didn't catch your question.
Why did Donald Trump pull us out of a good nuclear peace agreement with them?
Well, what is good in your standards? I mean, if somebody wants to build a nuclear weapon and has the ability to be funded to build a nuclear weapon, that is immediately a good peace agreement. I mean, they've countlessly said that long before the agreement was even in place, that's what they wanted. They wanted weapons.
I'm
I mean, that has
unsure.
been proven.
I'm unsure of like what you just said, but the fact of the matter is that the nuclear peace agreement that we had with them prevented them from building nukes, and we knew that with
It did,
confidence.
but it didn't. That's kind of why they still had it, and that's why we dropped bunker busters
How did it
on their
not
nuclear
prevent them from
facilities.
building nukes?
Because they were still in development of building nukes.
Oh, you have no
as
evidence.
the peace agreement was ruined.
You have no evidence that when the peace agreement was in place, they were still developing nukes.
You're right. I mean, it's the same thing as you saying that they weren't.
No, it's actually not, because I have evidence that they weren't.
Oh, you have evidence from Iran telling us that they weren't building nukes?
No, we have evidence from
And
the UN.
we just believe
We have
that?
evidence from our government, and we have evidence from the global nuclear watchdog.
Oh, okay. So the watchdogs went over to Iran and were like, "Oh yeah, that's totally legit. You guys are totally not."
Yeah,
And that's why when we saw
America, the UN, and global nuclear watchdogs had access to 24/7 surveillance live cameras in all of their nuclear facilities, as well as 400 in-person visits per year to all of their nuclear facilities.
correct. I mean,
Right?
24-hour surveillance sounds wonderful,
And not
except for the fact
and not once with a 24/7 access to surveillance and 400 in-person visits per year, did we ever get a report that they were furthering development of nuclear weapons. So that is the evidence that I have that they weren't developing nukes, and I find that evidence to be incredibly damning.
which is a valid point, and I can understand as to why you would see that as fair and true. But to me, Iran is known for one of the most technologically warfare-based countries on the planet. I mean, that's what they're known for, causing technological warfare on other people's soil. So what is to say that 24-hour surveillance wasn't of another facility that they weren't building weapons?
So yeah, once again, that would be the UN, the IAEA, which is the nuclear watchdog, America in conjunct with the IAEA, having our surveillance access to all of their facilities, as well as our intelligence agencies such as like the CIA, keeping like 24/7 surveillance over their facilities, and so on and so forth. Like I'm pretty sure if you want to posit that they had like hidden facilities that the IAEA didn't know of, hidden facilities that the CIA didn't know of, hidden facilities that the UN didn't know of, hidden facilities that the United States of America didn't know of, that just makes you conspiracy theorists.
Oh no, I don't think it was hidden at all. I mean, that's why we bombed the shit out of it.
Okay,
Excuse my language.
So if they didn't have any hidden facilities that we didn't know of, then we know that they were honoring the nuclear peace agreement that we had with them before Donald Trump pulled us out.
So when they came out with the documentation that they built enough uranium to effectively create enough warheads to hit every country that they found as a threat.
I don't know. I don't know why
it's
you're
the
pivoting.
same. It's the same.
No. The reason that you're pivoting is because I gave you a damn compelling argument that they did not violate the nuclear peace agreement.
I'm trying to add into
with all
what you
due
just
respect,
said.
you're pivoting, and I'll tell you exactly how. I gave you a damn compelling argument to prove that when we had a nuclear peace agreement with Iran, they were honoring the agreement, and then you came up with some conspiracy bullshit arguing that maybe they had hidden facilities, and then I was like, that's completely egregious considering the intelligence efforts of the totality of the UN, IAEI, and American intelligence, such as the CIA, and now you're attempting to pivot to something completely else. So do you have absolutely any non-egregious reason to assume that they violated the nuclear peace agreement we had with them before Donald Trump pulled us out?
The level of uranium they had built up was enough warheads.
Okay. So
Sorry, go ahead.
So there was no notable increases in the uranium
There
enrichment
was.
levels
It was
inside of Iran,
actually what they said.
To develop nuclear weapons while they were under the JCPOA. That's not true. And
But
that's
we
according
also-
to the
we're
IAEA.
also-
The IAEA reported 0 infractions the full 5 years that the agreement was signed into effect.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
Fair enough.
what is your evidence to believe that they violated the nuclear peace agreement we had with them? You didn't.
Simply the
guessed.
It's simply for the information that they have put out for us.
What
is I
information
base
did
my-
Iran put out when we had the JCPOA signed into law?
Iran's not going to put
indicating-
nothing out for
Okay,
us.
wait, then who's they?
Us, The
wait.
United States.
Oh, actually not true. Donald Trump affirmed twice that Iran did not violate the JCPOA under his first administration.
Oh, that's why we bombed them.
Well, we bombed them in his second administration 5 years later. You're equivocating between a time span of 5 years. What are you doing?
Because we were talking, you
Why
just
are
agreed with me.
No, I didn't. I didn't agree with you at all, right?
We
He
went
claimed to
from
have
5
evidence
years ago
of
to
uranium
now.
enrichment 5.5. Wait, actually, he pulled us out in 2017. No, so I'm going to go to revise my claim. So the U.S. apparently had evidence of Iranian uranium enrichment 8 years after they pulled us out of the JCPOA, right? Having some evidence of uranium enrichment in Iran 8 years after, right, we pulled out of the nuclear peace agreement we had with them does not give us evidence that they were enriching uranium when we were in a nuclear peace agreement with them. Does that make sense?
It does. I understand you and I hear you.
Okay. So then what is your evidence that they violated the nuclear peace agreement when we were in it with them?
I can't personally give you any evidence. I'm not the one that collected it.
Okay. Who's the one that collected it? Who's the one that has evidence that they violated that nuclear peace agreement when it was in effect?
Good question.
No one has that evidence. The IAEA affirms that they didn't violate it. The UN affirms that they didn't violate it. America affirms that they didn't violate it. So why would you suggest that they violated it?
I don't know, hypothetically, because we bombed them. We just went and bombed a country for no reason, is what you're saying?
We bombed them 8.5 years after we pulled out of the peace agreement. What would this have to do with them violating the peace agreement when we were in it with them? You absolute idiot.
I'm just trying to understand. I'm not.
Sorry,
no
that's a
no
little
need
bit.
for the name
Sorry,
call.
that was a little bit.
It's all right.
Sorry.
It's all right.
I'm
That's
sorry,
all
but
right.
that's how I feel at my core. Right?
No, I feel you, and I totally get it. I understand points of view, and I understand everybody's opinion, and everybody's got the right to it. I guess at the end of the day, we just can't come to an agreement on that.
But just think about what you're saying, man. You're saying because we bombed them in 2025, that therefore they violated a nuclear peace deal we had with them in 2017. Like, how does that make sense?
Well, it wasn't violated in 2017. We didn't bomb them because of the thing that they did in the past. We bombed them because of what they were doing currently.
Okay.
I mean, they were
so
talking
you're just telling
about.
us that they only started enriching uranium after Donald Trump pulled us out of the peace agreement we had with them, which indicates that Donald Trump made a terrible move and greenlit Iran into building nuclear weapons.
We got pulled. I personally believe, I guess if I'm just doing it off of beliefs now, that the reason that we bombed them was because Iran had shown us that they were not willing to be negotiated with. They did not want to be held back. They did not want to agree to the peace agreement because of the fact
they wanted it because it was very beneficial to their country. This is like propaganda.
No, from what my understanding is we put a peace agreement out. They disagreed to it because it wasn't what they wanted.
No. We signed into a peace agreement with them under Donald Trump's under Obama's second administration called the JCPOA. It was great, awesome, and dandy. They stopped building nukes. They loved it. Donald Trump turns around, pulls us out of it for no other reason than the fact that it had Obama's signature on it, pissed Iran off, and that's where we were at. Yeah, we were in a nuclear peace agreement with him for years, and Donald Trump basically pulled us out for no reason.
So the proof that they were a month or 2 months or whatever they considered the timeline to have enough enriched uranium to create a nuclear warhead just recently in 2024 and 2025, when that came out, that wasn't enough proof to say, oh man, they're really not listening to what we're saying. They proved time and time again they weren't going to be reasoned with. I mean, they want Palestine back. That was their whole thing.
Can you repeat everything I just said to you? Because I feel like you're not even listening to me. Why won't you listen to me? I thought that
I'm listening. I'm listening.
No, if you were listening to me, then repeat what I just told you.
No, that's what I'm saying. I can't repeat what you said, but I was listening to you.
Okay, I'm gonna say it one last time. The United States entered into a into a nuclear peace agreement with Iran under Obama in his second administration. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Iran loved this denuclearization agreement that we entered into them because it was great and beneficial for their economy because it required us relinquishing sanctions that we had on them. Are you listening?
Mm-hmm.
because they love this agreement so much that Obama made, right? They honored the agreement, right? And in the 4 years the agreement was in place, right? The UN, the United States of America, and IAEA, sorry, AIEA, no, AIEI, no, something like that. I don't know.
You
Nuclear
had it right.
watchdog, right?
Yeah.
Reported 0 infractions the whole time it was signed into effect. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Right. And then Donald Trump came around and he pulled us out of that JCPOA nuclear peace agreement, right? And then Iran started to develop nuclear weapons, right? Meaning that Donald Trump greenlit Iran into constructing nuclear weapons by pulling us out of an agreement that prevented them from constructing nuclear weapons. Are you listening?
So, yes, sir.
Okay. What are your thoughts?
I guess my question to you would be, so if somebody gets angry enough that we didn't agree with them on what they wanted and what was working for them, it's just okay to start building nukes because they were mad?
I'm not saying that it was okay for Iran to develop nuclear weapons. I think the whole world should denuclearize. I'm just saying that Donald Trump really fucked up by pulling us out of the JCPOA, and in pulling us out of the JCPOA, he greenlit them in to construct nukes, regardless if it was okay or not. Do you agree
Gotcha.
or do you disagree?
I do. I get what you're saying. Yeah, he basically poked the bull. He pissed them off, and they said, all right, here.
No, he literally allowed them to construct nukes when we had a perfect agreement in place that prevented them from constructing nukes.
Gotcha. Following you.
Right? So
Yep,
isn't this a
yep.
really big reason to not trust Trump's leadership?
I guess that's another agree to disagree, because to me it seems if we were, I'm listening to you. I know
What are you
you're rolling your
disagreeing
eyes
with
at me.
me on? What are you disagreeing with me on?
I do believe that if we were to have Harris,
No. What do you
Or
disagree?
con-
What do you disagree? Do you disagree that Donald Trump greenlit Iran into building nukes by pulling us out of a perfect peace agreement with him?
I believe that there should have been no reason for anybody to have built a nuke
You're
for
not
any reason.
answering my question, though. I didn't ask you if
I don't
anyone
think it was
has
a
a reason to
green
build
light.
nukes. Okay.
That's the same thing as saying that Donald Trump pissed off Russia and to green light them to go take over Ukraine. That doesn't make. What do you mean? It's just a green light to go build nukes.
If we had an agreement with Russia that told them they couldn't invade Ukraine, because if they do invade Ukraine, then we'd place all these sanctions on them, right? And if they don't invade Ukraine, we're going to actively support their economy. And then Donald Trump pulls us out of this agreement with Russia, preventing them from invading Ukraine. And then we sanction the hell out of Russia, even though they didn't invade Ukraine. So then they're like, fuck it, we're going to invade Ukraine. Did Trump green light Russia into invading Ukraine?
I think not. I wouldn't think that there's any reason to have a. But that's what you're saying. You're saying that Donald Trump is the exact result of the war. He's the one that greenlit everybody to go ahead and just say whatever.
I'm not saying he's the only person responsible, but I am saying he is one of the people responsible, because if he never
Right,
pulled
so
us out of the
that is-
JCPOA in the first place, none of this would have happened. Because he
Gotcha.
stopped the
So
oversight of the nuclear facilities. He stopped the
Gotcha.
agreement that prevented them from constructing nukes.
Gotcha. Okay, so from my understanding, if it just to simplify the whole thing, we pissed off somebody enough because they were in something that they liked, and then we took it away from them. So they said it was okay. Why not? Let's just go ahead and do it.
So we had a nuclear peace agreement with them that prevented
I
them
got
from
you.
building
I heard
nukes.
that.
We pulled out of the nuclear peace agreement. Then they started re-enriching uranium.
Okay, so
Right? And can
so
we agree
went over.
that pulling out of that nuclear peace agreement was a really bad idea?
Oh yeah, I mean for sure. If it
Okay.
was something that actually prevented Iran from building nukes, but this has been a topic, like I said.
It was something that actually was it? Can we agree that it was something that actually prevented them from building nukes?
That's my point. That's what I'm trying to say is I believe that is something that is not exactly fully true through and through, because this has been going on. This has been a topic. Iran nuking, building nukes long before you and I have even been here.
Yeah, because Netanyahu's been lying about them since the 70s. Listen, Okay.
Exactly.
You are now
That's what I'm saying. So
you are now re-suggesting that Iran violated the peace agreement and built nukes during the peace agreement. I thought we already went over how the IAEA agreed that they weren't. I thought that we already went over how the UN agreed that they weren't. I thought that we already went over how the US agreed that they weren't. I thought that we already went over how the CIA agreed that we weren't. That they weren't. I thought we already went over how there's no evidence to believe that they were. So why do you believe something that we have so much evidence to believe is false and no evidence to believe is true?
well, it's kind of hard to believe anything these days, personally.
Okay, so you're saying that you believe it without any reason? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
No, from the evidence I have seen, I believe that Iran.
Articulate the evidence that Iran violated the JCPOA. Articulate it, buddy.
Okay, how about all of the enriched uranium they had that we literally blew up?
Okay.
Like, we literally have the evidence of the nuclear sites with enriched uranium.
Okay, how is
the equipment?
How is the enriched uranium that Iran apparently had in 2025 evidence that they violated a peace agreement that we discontinued in 2017?
What's to say it wasn't?
The IAEA?
So the same guys that are giving you all the information now as to why we got out of it and why this whole conflict started is the same people that we believe were telling us the truth about everything else in the past. Like
Can you repeat that in a way that makes sense? That sentence made no sense, Tanner.
Okay, so let's just say Iran hates us. Has hated us our whole life.
Okay.
We go over there. We say these guys are working together with us. They're doing all the right things 100%. We believe them. They're doing everything right. We've checked it with our own eyes. That's just we're just taking that.
It's because we had clearance over the IAEA. We were
Correct.
a part of the IAEA.
And Iran did not want to work with us on that whole ordeal.
No, they did. They did. They wanted to because it was good for their country. I thought that we already went over how part of the nuclear peace agreement was lifting sanctions on them. They complied. They wanted to comply. It was really good for their economy.
So if we had brought back the nuclear peace agreement, your thought is that they would stop chanting death to America?
Now you're pivoting because keep in mind I'm still trying to get you to provide me with evidence that they violated the JCPOA when it was in effect.
Like I said earlier, I don't have evidence, my sir.
Oh, so you believe in things without evidence, Tanner? That's pretty spineless.
I believe evidence that I've seen. Yes, sir.
Oh, so now you're claiming that you do have evidence that you've seen that indicates they violated the JCPOA. What is it?
I'm not sitting in front of my computer. I'm sitting here at my job trying to have a conversation with you.
Then get your ass up and sit yourself in front of the computer and find that damn evidence, Tanner. Because
I don't have the computer.
So it's just like
I'm at work.
It's like a trust me, bro.
I guess.
Okay, I'm not
just
gonna
like
trust
I'm trusting you to believe that Iran was like, oh yeah, let's totally do it. That sounds great, man.
Well, you're not trusting
while they're
me.
chanting death to America.
You're not trusting me. You're trusting the United States of America. You're trusting the totality of the UN, and you're trusting the IAEA.
Well, you're asking me to trust all of this evidence they've given us, just like I mean, you're bringing up the CIA, right?
I'm asking you to trust the United States of America in conjunct with the CIA, in conjunct with the UN and every country in the UN, in conjunct with the IAEA. Yes, I am. Yes. So true, Tanner.
Perfect. Okay. Fair enough. That works for me.
Perfect. Goodbye. Ugh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. That one really took it out of me, folks. I'm gonna be honest, guys. That one really took it out of me. Let's see. I have a couple people to thank here. I'm going crazy out here. All right. Super duper quickly. Donna, thank you so much for the $20 over on Super Chat, saying I keep saying that I've come to the conclusion that Trump/MAGA supporters have the brain capacity, brain cells, and IQ of an amoeba. What the heck? Love you, Dean. Love you too, Donna. I really appreciate you so much. Then Tyler with a $2 super chat on YouTube says, "You trust evidence? You fool." Yeah, that one really took it out of me, guys. Oh, that one was intensive. That one was annoying. I kind of like broke out there for a second and called him an idiot. I try to keep that to a minimum. You know, I do try to stay cordial. I broke out for a second. I'd also like to very quickly thank Daniel. Thank you for the $10 on Venmo, literally 35 seconds ago. Daniel with the $10 says, "It is refreshing to hear somebody debate the facts. I ran across you on one of my feeds and I've been telling everyone about you since. I love it when you drop the hammer on nonsensical arguments." Thank you, Daniel. That's awesome, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spreading the word. You are awesome. As well as Carrie, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo. 14 minutes ago, Carrie said, "Love the debates. I learned so much from you." That's awesome, Carrie. I'm so happy that you're learning from the streams. That is literally what I want. Thank you for the $20. As well as Roslyn with the $25 on Venmo. Roslyn says, "What does all of this mean for us California guardsmen? We want to go home." Yeah, Roslyn, chances are you're not going to be deployed in Oregon, and that's going to get caught up in the courts. Right now, Newsom is suing the Trump administration, and I feel like he'll win, so you'll probably be fine. As well as Chloe. Thank you so much for the $20 on PayPal saying, "Please read." I just wanted to say thank you. My older sister, who is autistic and usually nonverbal, has had a new fixation on your content, and your positivity has started, and she's actually started to speak more to tell us about you. Love from the UK, Chloe and Jessica. Oh my God, dude, that is so cool. Oh my God. Well, please tell your sister that I love her and I think she's the coolest person ever. And that is such a heartwarming story. Thank you so much for sharing that with me, Chloe. All the love in the world to you and your sister. Oh my God, that's seriously so heartwarming. Jesus. Thank you. Thank you so much, Chloe. Huge shout out to Chloe and her sister. That's so cool. Thank you for telling me to please read that. I'm really happy that I read that. Wow. Okay. All right, everyone. Let's go ahead and see where we're at with the stream. We have been live for well over 4 hours. Okay. All right, everyone. I am going to end for the night. But, I don't think that means the debates are over. I think Parker's going to get back on. Let me check. Katrina, thank you for the $20 on PayPal, saying thank you for trying to educate the last man who decided evidence is not good enough. Let me go to read the rest of it. Cut out. Is not good enough reason to trust an argument. Dude, well, I tried. Thank you for the $20, Katrina. As well as Nargina, thank you for the $15 on Venmo, saying, "Hope you're doing well. Happy October." Happy October to you as well, Nargina. Hope you're well as well. I remember you. You've been here for a while. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm actually going to go ahead and call Parker. And see if he's around. See if he's going to hop back on. That's what he texted me and told me. So we'll see if that's a fact. Yo, what's up, Parker? Got you on stream right now. I just thought I'd let you know.
What's good?
Hey, man. Are you going to hop back on air?
I've got a few minutes before I will be.
Okay. All right. Do you plan to hop back on tonight, though?
Yeah, I think I was going to do another hour or two.
All right, sweet, man. I just wanted to get your confirmation so I could let the stream know before I end.
For sure, bro.
All right, you have a good one, bro.
You as well.
All right, hopefully Parker will be on with debates this evening. Of course, it sounds like he's driving home right now, so it may be a little bit. But if you want to watch his debates when he's on, he'll be on @ParkerGetAJob on TikTok and @ParkerGetAJob on YouTube. Folks, for everybody that joined us today, I'm not going to lie, I may not be showing it, but I'm really mentally exhausted after the stream today. I'm barely holding myself together, so it's time for me to leave. But listen, peace and love.